everybody. Welcome back to another episode of God Built This Podcast. I'm your host, Maxine, and we're on episode 76. I'm gonna come pretty raw on this episode, and I'm just gonna start off with the importance of honoring thyself, listening to thyself, and really following what you are intuitively feeling, okay? And I know it sounds like, oh wow, what is she gonna say next? Simply, it's very simple for me. When I know I don't like somebody like that, right? There's really no point in continuing with that person, because those feelings that I felt initially of me not really feeling that person like that will surface, okay? And that's something that I just keep on reminding myself with this church nigga. And I feel bad. I really do feel bad because he's a good man, Savannah. No, he's a good guy. He's a cool guy. But he's not my guy. And there's several reasons for that. And I've gotten into it before, and I talked about just like differences that may seem minor to some but are major to me, you know? And at this point in my life, I'm 29 years old. I don't want to play catch up with any man. Okay? I don't want to play mayo with any man. I don't want to play paprika with it. Like, I don't want to play any type of condiment with any nigga. Okay? I want my nigga to already be there. You know what I mean? I don't want to feel like I could kind of catch up to you. You know what I mean? And with Church Bay, I felt like I would be his teacher in a way. I would be his guide. You know, I would lead him rather than being led. And no, what? I'm not doing it. I'm not interested. I'm not attracted. I'm not at all attracted to that life. And I had to just really sit with myself and be like, this isn't working for me, and I need to stop like fucking around with him. And it's not like I was doing it, and maybe I was, but I guess subconsciously, you know, we do recognize what we're doing. But on the outside, I'm trying to kind of convince myself like, oh, let me just make it work, or let me just like continue, go on. It's just light for now. And, you know, it's not like we're in a relationship. Yeah, true. But then again, I realized that I just can't be light with someone consistently when I don't really like that person. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just casually date someone, go on dates, or, you know, consistently communicate with them, check in with them, hey, good morning, hey babe, type of convo. I can't consistently do that with someone when I'm really not that into you. Okay? And I can't put up the front as if I am, you know, because some people will be like, well, you know, just have your roster, right? Have your roster of niggas, you know, whenever you're bored, you want to just hit that person up, and then boom, boom, y'all do what it do. Even during quarantine time, you know, maybe, you know, just have someone in the tuck. You know what I mean? And although that is nice in theory, I'm too deep of a person to really fuck with that. Like, I can't consistently have you in my life, and I'm not really that into you, especially knowing when you're really that into me. And I just gotta really say, no, dog. And I feel like I'm talking so vague, and I'll get into specifics as much as I can soon, but I just want to start off by saying that, you know, because a couple of episodes ago, I came on this very podcast talking about how I told church nigga, you know, hey, I just don't really see this going past friendship. I just see you as a friend. And, you know, my reasoning that I gave him was true. It was just simply like, you know, we're just at different paces in our life. And, you know, that's really it. And that's still true. That is still the truth. That still holds weight into my reasoning now. But it's really like the nicer way of saying you're just not man enough for me. Okay, and I've been talking about this for a while now on this very podcast. I've been talking about, being man enough or reclaiming your dick or, where's your dick at type of nigga. And that's what I'm trying to live out into my life consistently. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be out here talking about, I need a nigga who's like this, and that, and that. Even though we're not into it, like, we're not dating exclusively, we're not like in, a serious stage right now. I just know within my heart, this isn't going anywhere for me. So let me be a good person and let you know, nigga, no. And there's just a lot to unpack, and I think I will just start with, let me think. What would I start with? I mean, okay, so there's just a couple of things that I just don't like when men behave in a certain way. I don't like when, I'm not into sweet talk. Okay, I'm not into, man, I can't wait till we do this, or I'm not even, honestly, let me say this right now. I'm not even into a nigga saying I miss you. And it's like, well, why not? Yeah, it's cool, it's nice in theory, but let me explain why. When a man who is living in the same city as you is telling you I miss you, and you guys live, I don't know, 20 minutes max, if that, away from each other, like, we're literally in a close quarter, like, type of relationship. Like, there's no room for long distance, okay? And you're sending me an I miss you, it's like, okay, so be here. Like, like, what? Like, okay, so when are you going to see me to make this I miss you not be a thing? Like, I'm not into the whole I miss you, or I wish I could be here with you tonight, or I wish, you were in my arms. Okay, let's make that happen. And I just, I'm just not a believer of words like that. Like, and as much of a wordsmith as I am, as much as I love words and literature and art and all of that beautiful stuff, when it comes to relationships, I am not at all a fan of words. I'm a fan of action. I'm a fan of being about that life. I'm a fan of being man enough to do what you said you was going to do. Don't talk about, no, I miss you. Don't talk about save me a plate when your ass has never been here, and when your ass has never made initiative and follow through on said initiative to come see me or to make plan for us to meet. You know what I mean? Like, there's no, I miss you for what? Okay? Like, I'm that girl. I'm not, I am not a fool for words. I'm a fool for action. I'm a fool for consistency. I'm a fool for stability. When you are showing me that you're all about talk, I'm gonna be like, okay, nigga, bullshit. And I'll call you out on it, okay? So anyway, he did a whole I miss you. And I didn't miss him. I did not miss him. One, because I was still, and I am still grieving the loss of my cousin. And I just wanted my time away from checking in on our conversations through text. Like, we will consistently text, and he will always be consistent as far as, texting me and checking in and seeing how I'm doing and just how's your day and how's work. It's just light conversation like that, which is cool and all. But here's the truth. If I was receiving that energy from someone who I really like, who I was really that into, then I would be like, girl, I miss you too. Or nigga, I miss you too, right? I would be that. But because, and that's just the truth, when you are really that into somebody, there's really little, there's maybe some. So I'm not gonna say little to no, but I'm gonna say this is probably little things that could really annoy you of that person. And with this nigga, I'm annoyed. I don't want to talk. don't want to talk. I don't feel like checking in. I don't feel like answering your second question after every text we send to each other. Always asking a motherfucking question. Just talk. Just talk conversely. Like, just converse with me. Don't have these prescribed questions, guiding questions, these text dependent questions for me to answer. Let's have a regular, smooth conversation, okay? So, and yeah, so when I don't miss you back, I'm not gonna say I miss you back. Why am I saying that? You miss me, okay? You could miss me. Doesn't mean that I have to miss you back, right? Anyway, so he said I miss you. I just said, oh, okay, oh, just just an and he's like, okay, well, glad, glad to know you miss me back type of, but he put a LOL, clearly calling out that I didn't miss him back. But I'm not going to go into it with him. Like, if I don't miss you, I don't miss you. And I'm not going to explain, well, I shouldn't have to miss you back if I don't miss you. Like, you want me to lie to you? Like, I'm not going to do all of that. I'm just going to move on past it and ask you, how's work going? That's what I'm going to do. So there's that little thing. There's another point and the reason why I'm annoyed with I miss you, and I know why he said that, because there was 2 days prior when I communicated to him. I don't really feel like talking. I know I got because he followed up on me on a text that he sent me and I didn't respond. And he asked me, hey, did you get my text? I'm like, yeah, I did. I just don't feel like talking right now. And so he's like, okay, cool. No, it's no problem. I'll give you your space. And then a day and a half later, he sends me I miss you. And it's like, what? Like, it feels like I'm choking. You miss me for what? It's been a day and a half. And maybe I'm trash because I clearly don't like it when niggas go ghost on me. And look, true. And I'm just going to reiterate what the fuck I just said earlier, which is when you don't really like somebody, you do things that you probably wouldn't do if you like them like that, It's okay, cool. I miss you. I didn't say it back. There was another conversation that happened, and that just like, okay, I'm not really feeling this nigga like that, because I've been home for 4 weeks now. 4 weeks? Yeah, about 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks. Okay. And of course, since I've been home, I came home to attend and be with my family during this time of our loss. And, I do plan, and I already have a flight, back to Houston. I'm not moving back home permanently, but I'm just here for a while, okay? But I am returning to Houston, so just to make that clear. Anyway, so I've been home for 3 weeks now, and yes, the first few days and the first week, actually, and week and a half has been dedicated to just helping with arrangements with the funeral, with just emotionally preparing myself as much as I can, whatever that means, whatever that looks like, and just attending the funeral and being with my family and mourning and crying and rejoicing just in the good times, but really sad that we've lost Joanna. So cool. I also feel like I'm still that girl. So what I mean by that is, yes, I'm still grieving. Yes, I'm still sad. And I guess I just will stay within me because I will always miss her. But I am still a woman, right? I'm still someone who enjoys physical intimacy, okay? Who wants to have that physical connection with someone, especially when I am in need of that, right? When I'm really thinking or wanting that, I still want that option. I still want that readily available for me when I want it, okay? If you catch my drift, all right? So when since I've been home, I caught up with Boston Bay just one time, and we'll give an update about this nigga again. But, I caught up with Boston Bay. We've caught up, hung out together type of situation. So that was cool. And yet Church Bay has yet to do any of that. He has yet to show any initiative. He has yet to really boss up and be like, hey, you know, I know you're going through a hard time right now, but, you know, if you need any time to escape, if you just want to just take a break, you know, I'm here, you know. And here's the thing. I think there's also, I do have to recognize that Boston Bay and Church Nigga are at different paces in their life, like completely different paces. You have someone who has his own place and you have someone who does not. And there's no shade to someone who, you know, there's no shade to men who do not have their own place. That's totally fine. I get it. We live in a economically disenfranchised world. But still, I also just want someone who can make shit happen. You know what I mean? And I would prefer, because I'm at the point in my life where I just want my nigga to already have that situated. You know, I want my nigga to already have his own place. I want my nigga to already have the funds and the transportation and just the wherewithal to be with me. If I wanted to be with him, he has that space to do so, you know. Yet, you know, Church Nigga does not. Okay? And I'm thinking about all these things, you know, throughout conversations and just thinking about him throughout time, and I'm just like, I can't deal with that. And it's really, and I reiterate, it's no knock to anyone at that space, because it is what it is. But I just know for me, myself, and I want my nigga to already be there, right? And there is not even this big old accomplishment. I'm not saying I want my nigga to be, you know, a homeowner, a 3-story home. Like, that's great, but I'm not requiring that. But the least that I'm requiring, okay, the least that I will not put up with is a nigga who don't have his own space. Period. And see how I'm saying space? I should really just say apartment or house, right? But the least I could say is, okay, maybe you have the basement of your family home, but the basement is your space. The basement includes your bedroom, maybe a little kitchenette, you know, a bathroom, but the point is your space. So if I wanted to hang out with you and there's quarantine outside, you know, I could still come over because it's your space, it's your little apartment, okay? He doesn't have that. And I haven't dated a nigga who is at that space in life in such a long time. Every nigga I've dated, okay, if I go back to my previous boyfriend, if I go back to just niggas I fuck with, just the fuck with type of niggas, has had their own space, has had their own place, their apartment, their house, whatever the case is, has had that already established. And I'm over here talking and entertaining a nigga who doesn't, who shares a home with 10 other people. Like, what am I doing? Like, at what point I gotta sit back and be like, mama, what the fuck? You know? And so there's that frustration within myself, like, no, I'm not gonna force myself to dislike this guy or entertain anything further with this guy, because and what I'm saying with he's a good guy is that he's consistent, right? He has a lot of qualities that I would like from someone I actually like that, you know? You know what I mean? Like, damn, I like all these qualities in you, but damn, I wish it was in this other nigga. Damn, I like that you're emotionally stable, right? You're consistent. You are emotionally available. I like all of that, but I want all of that in another nigga, you know, in Boston Bay, in any other nigga. Like, I want that in other niggas, not you, okay? Because you, even though you have all of these great qualities, I'm not doing it. Period. And maybe that's my bad. Maybe it is. But there's a point in time when, as a woman, when you have experienced a certain lifestyle, a certain dating experience, there's no way that you could go backwards. Like, there's no negotiating. There's no, well, he's a really nice guy. Okay, and does he have a 401k? Nice guy? Does he have, I don't know, a working vehicle? Nice guy. Does he have his own house? Nice guy. Apartment? Nice guy. Like, oh, he's just a nice guy. Nah, that ain't gonna cut it. I'm sorry. I want my man to already be established. I want him to be man enough for me. And it's more, and here's the thing. Now it sounds like, oh, you're just being materialistic, mama. You're just being, being fluffy. You're all about the surface. Totally not it. So I hope I'm making myself clear. It's about provision. It's about being able to feel like this man could really provide and yes, I'm thinking about all these things all at once. Cause it's not like, it's not like I'm saying, oh, I want, you're gonna be my husband. No, it's just, even in entertaining stage, even in the casual dating, liking, fluff beginning stage, I need you to already have that shit together. Okay? I need you to already have that shit together. I need that to already be set in stone, good to go. So I could look at my list, and I don't have a list, but metaphorically, I want to just check off these things and be like, okay, cool, that's cool. Okay, and then we'll work on your love language. We'll work on this and work on that. But that needs to be a standard. That needs to be the base. Okay, so that's one. And 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and the other thing that I just cannot mesh with is there's just a lack in mindset. There's a lack in mindset between us. And that lack is so much so that I can't just ignore it. And what I mean by the lack in mindset is I'm someone who, I don't like to sit in complaints. I don't like to sit in negativity, disadvantages. I don't like to sit and be like, oh, woe is me. I like action. I like solutions. I like to know that you have a plan to overcome this obstacle. I like to know that you have a path moving forward. If I hear from you consistently reasons why you're not respected, or reasons why, you can't get this done and that done. Okay, I want to hear reasons how you can overcome that. Let's sit down and write down a list and figure out how can we work towards accomplishing and overcoming those obstacles, right? Rather than me kind of pushing that out of you and telling you or showing you a way to have a solution-oriented mindset, why don't you want that for yourself, right? And here's the thing, the role of a woman may be to encourage their man, and yes, there is that, but if you at the core is more negative than positive, I cannot fucks with that. Okay, growing up, I have been exposed to a lot of negativity, a lot of negative mindset, a lot of woe is me, I'm depressed, dark cloud over my head type of mindset, and it really does something to your spirit. Okay, to the point so much so where I feel that cloud is removed when I eventually moved out of my home. And so when I moved out, I felt that cloud removed, but there is remnants of that cloud, right? When you have parents or people around you who have more negative than positive to say, who may be more disencouraging than encouraging, right? And maybe to their fault or not to their fault, but either way, even when you remove yourself from that situation, you are still now unlearning negative self-talk. You are still unlearning just a negative mindset, right? And that's hard. That's a hard thing because those remnants, that residue remains until you recognize it and actively and consciously work on it. Okay. So as I am at work, I am in my real life. I love being productive. I love being goal oriented. I have a notebook that has, the goal for today. The goal for today is to, create this rubric, read 50 pages of my book, and work out. That's my goal for today. And I do my best to accomplish all of those goals, right? And sometimes it may not be all of the goals, but It'll be one out of the three, or two out of the three, right? So there is something that I'm working towards, and it makes me feel accomplished, and I am accomplished afterwards, even if I don't finish all three, but I know I at least completed one out of the three. Now, that may be too regimented for some people, right? Some people are just super, lackadaisical and, just be, and that's cool. And there are times when I am just being, but what helps with my self-care, especially during this time of grieving, I need to be productive. I need to be, and I don't want to say busy, because busy sounds like you're just filling shit up to do. Like, no, stuff that I'm accomplishing is productive, and is helpful towards my work life, my personal life. It's helpful towards that. And so I think it's very helpful to write down these goals and to accomplish them and to just move forward with them, and then continuing that. And that creates a mindset, okay? Now, here's the thing. I'm not someone who's going to just, okay, well, he's so negative, I'm just going to bounce out. No, I impart my wisdom, right? I share suggestions. I show, hey, here's what maybe you could do if you're interested. And hey, I noticed you said you've been working on this goal and it's a long, tedious task. How about you, write down 3 things that you plan to tackle to create this bigger goal into a smaller goal and to conquer it piece by piece. And as much of an answer, of a possible solution that I would give, I'm immediately pushed back with, well, I can't do it that way because what if, and another what if, and another negative what if. I'm always being hit with these what ifs, and it's like, nigga, do you want to get out of this rut or what? It's like we're running, but we're running in place. Okay, and I'm the only one who's actually running, actually moving, making strides, but this nigga is stuck on the treadmill. And that is something I cannot tolerate. I cannot have my man, who already don't have his own place, who already don't have, his life in the order that I want my man to have, ideally to have, that I've already experienced with all of the men that I've dated and fuck with, who have, right? He's already not there, and you mean to tell me you're also a negative, not negative Nancy, let's say negative Nathan. You're a negative Nathan? I this isn't gonna work out, because when do you plan to move out of the house, right? When do you plan to move forward in your career? When do you plan to just do the fucking basics, okay? And if I have to be the one to consistently uplift and encourage and develop a new mindset, a solution-oriented mindset, it's not gonna work out, okay? Because when I need time to focus on me, now I have to think about, oh, dang, did you not eat today? Did you eat today? And I'm bringing that up because this goes into what I was talking about in a previous episode. So, how I was saying how he doesn't really eat, like he doesn't have, let me just say, a strong or an experienced palate, okay? And what I mean by that is, nigga hasn't had a steak before, nigga hasn't had ribs before, and it's like, damn, mama, did you pick this nigga off from the schoolyard? Like, where did you get him? And I had to really sit back and be like, where did I get him? Church. And that's no knock to church niggas. There are niggas who are at church who are niggas. But this is all because of, or more so because of, the age difference. And 4 years is a difference, And yes, there are many relationships out there who has an age gap, and that's cool, but not gonna be for me, especially when you have someone who is not at all experienced in certain things that I need my man to be experienced in. If you are inexperienced with just different lifestyles. Like, it's a lifestyle to eat well. To me, right? If you enjoy, and I keep going back to Pizza Hut and Domino's and liking Little Caesar pizzas. I can't. What are you? So what does your breath smell like? That's. I'm sorry. What do you smell like? Little Caesars all day? What do you sound like? Or smell like? What does it that? What does your armpit smell like? You know what I mean? Like, do you know what an avocado is? And I'm not saying I want my nigga to be a vegan or a vegetarian. Nope. I want you to eat well. I want you to know what protein is. I want you to incorporate that daily in your meals. I want you to have 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. At least 2. Okay, let's say that. I want you to eat more than cereal. Okay? And, he is, I feel like I'm going in on him and I feel bad. But this is my podcast. Hey, you better not be listening. But there is a reason why, one's physical appearance may look a certain way simply because of their diet, right? Simply because of their food choices and their eating habits. And whether it's a joke or not, which is not a joke, because he was trying to tell me one time, you really think I eat cereal all day? Yeah, I do. It may not be every day, but most days, yeah, I do. Because when I would ask him, just casually in conversation, oh, what did you eat today? Like, I just like talk, and I will hope y'all know, I love food. I'm a foodie girl. I frequently post videos of me cooking. I love going out to, like, I love eating. I love cooking. I love food. Food is an art. Cooking is an art. And it's just so joyous for me. So I love talking about food. So it's not like me checking on him, but in part, I realize it is me checking on him because he has said before in previous conversation that, oh, damn, all I had today was cereal. All I had today was cereal. And I know what a joke is. Let me just say that. I know what a joke is. I know how to spot out sarcasm. I know how to spot out a joke. Okay, so let's not think, oh, maybe he's just joking. No, nigga. All you had today was cereal. Let's keep that real. I'm just calling you out and you feel stupid, but all you had was cereal. So let's dead that. And let's say, okay, maybe it wasn't all cereal. I had bacon and eggs later on. Okay, so what is that a meal? What is that supposed to make a difference to me? But you still have cereal, really? Okay. I feel like cereal just cancels out anything else. What are you eating cereal for? Anyway, so he so he will frequently say, like, yeah, he'll just be busy with X, Y, and Z all day, or get distracted with something, and eating to him is not really a priority. He said to me multiple times that it's, he's a picky eater, and it's not like he doesn't really fawn over food like that. And when he does get hungry, or he does realize, oh, I haven't eaten all day today, let me just have some cereal. That's his go-to. That's his go-to. A cereal, I don't have a cereal box for me. Okay, living at home right now, my mom loves cereal, so she eats cereal. But for me, myself, and I'm not buying cereal. Okay, don't get me wrong, cereal's not bad. It's just like, no, I want sausage. Okay, I want eggs. I want French toast. Like, we talking breakfast food, right? So cereal is like, and that just makes me realize the palate that he has is limited, is immature. If we're going out to eat, are you ordering cereal, or are you getting the crepe? Are you ordering cereal while I eat a steak? What? Why are you eating cereal? You eat cereal when you are lost in the woods and all you had was cereal in your bag, and you just realize, okay, well, this is my last meal type of thing. That's it. Before the bear eats me. That's when you eat cereal. But it's more than just a cereal. It's just the fact that there is just a limited experience in tasting food and eating food that's good, food that's good for your bones and meaty. Like, I don't want to weigh more than you. to lift you up. I don't want to have to worry if you're picking me up and I'm about to fall over because I'm too big. Or you're struggling and I see that sweat coming down the side of your face and you're trying to play it off. You're sweating. I need you to eat more. I need you to eat regularly. And I need you to work out. Right? So now I'm saying all these things because it's like I'm making a man. I'm building a man. I'm build a bear. It's build a man time with him. It's like, okay, did you eat today? Did you eat 3 times a day? Did you drink water? Huh? Did you work out? Make sure you work out 4 times a week at least. And I don't want to do that, and I'm not doing that, all right? On top of the fact that you don't have your own place, on top of the fact that you don't have ways for us to spend time together alone and outside of your room because you share the house with 11 other people. So it's a lot of things that I just realized I know I'm not that into, and I know regardless if I just continue to just like shut my mouth about, it's going to eat me alive and it's going to come out. And I know it came out in multiple ways of like just my shortness in my texts, my attitude sometimes. And there's also just a different mindset as far as just like an understanding. I'm realizing that, I know more. And I know it comes off a little arrogant. Maybe it does. But generally, let's just say generally, not everyone, but generally, when you're older, you do have more wisdom. You do have more knowledge on things, and there are some things I'm not knowledgeable about, right? And there are some things that he's more knowledgeable about than me, and he'll impart that wisdom, and that's cool and all. But I am knowledgeable on some things, and let's just be clear on that. So when I am imparting my wisdom on, for example, creating and developing a solution-oriented mindset, if I'm more knowledgeable on just being forthright and confident in X, Y, and Z, or, if I'm showing more knowledge in that, why not take that as an opportunity to listen, to see where that could apply in your life, right? If you're telling me about certain time or certain experience, like I said earlier, I don't like to wallow in negativity. I like to find solutions. How are we fixing this? Okay. All right. You had a hard day because you didn't fill out this form correctly. How can we fill it out correctly? Okay. You had a hard day because you didn't realize that the essay needed to include embedded evidence. I got you. Like, there are some things that I just need you to be open to receiving help on when knowing I am more knowledgeable in that area. And with him, I get pushback because he's feeling like, well, I didn't ask for your help. And I like doing things on my own way and my own process. And that right there shows me immaturity. And it's not to say that I have the answers. You must follow my lead. You must only listen to me. No, it means that when an elder, and this sucks that I'm like an elder in this situation, but seriously, when an elder is imparting wisdom onto you, you don't be like, no, grandma, you don't know shit. I got this. I'm doing my own way. Okay, do it your own way and then go through your own mistakes. And then, okay, cool. That's a part of life. You go through it and that's like your journey. And that's cool and all. But there's a saying, what is it? Monkey see, monkey do. And no. It's something about like, you don't have to learn from your mistakes. Learn from the mistakes of others, right? So when someone else has gone through an experience that you're currently going through, and that someone has already gone through that experience and has already succeeded, learned from that experience, has grown wisdom from that experience, and they happen to hear it from you that, hey, you're going through that same experience. Why not take that person's advice? why not learn from that person who has gone through the same thing as you have gone through, right? Or someone who knows someone who has gone through that and has direct lessons that they could impart on you about that experience. Why not sit your pride down, sit your ego down and receive, hey, could you tell me how you got through that? Or I would love to learn. Why, what I mean, why go through your own mistakes when you could actually learn from the mistakes of others, and instead of going through it, you'll be successful the first or second time around. So there's just this need, like this childish need to kind of one up, to kind of show you, I could do it myself. I could do it myself. That's literally what it sounds like to me. And I'm over here just like, nigga, what are you doing? Like, you're not making any sense. So, and what I'm saying is, I continuously would show and like suggest solution-oriented mindset on things, right? Because instead of sitting into your complaints, instead of sitting into your negative mindset, hey, here's a goal. Here's something you could possibly do. How do you feel about this? So I shared an advice of, why don't you grab what's a notebook, little planner, just a little paper, maybe just paper. If you don't have an agenda book, just grab a piece of paper. And today I want you to write down 3 things, just at least 3 things that you want to accomplish that bigger goal that you've been talking about that feels so far reaching. But hey, if you just take it apart, if you chunk it up, you'll eventually accomplish that big goal, right? So that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm giving you help on that instead of sitting, I don't know what to do. Yet, once I said that, his response, what I received from him is, yeah, but what if I have 5 things to do that day? Nigga, then write 5 goals. Like, what? Then you write down 5 goals, right? Or he also said something like, well, I'm trying to, yeah, but when I accomplish the first goal, or if I try to accomplish the first goal, I'm distracted because the first goal is taking longer than expected. So now I'm moving around from second goal to third. I'm like, why don't you just discipline yourself and say, I will not move forward to the next goal until I finish this first goal, which will give you an incentive to accomplish that first goal so you can get to the second one. Like, that makes sense. Like, seriously, what I'm saying is not Einstein level shit. It'd be like the basic stuff that I've learned throughout my years as I was getting more organized, and I'm naturally organized, right? So learning more ways to get organized is another skill. So I realized that you have to learn these things. And being that I'm naturally organized, it comes easier for me. But I also recognize that it's a skill that you have to learn more of. So when I'm giving you tools, when I'm giving you ways to get there, and you're constantly feeding me back this bull ass shit, it's just, nigga, just stay in your obstacle course lane ass nigga. Because I cannot. And and I will call him out on that, because I'm gonna call out Queen, and he'll be like, well, he likes to think of the what if obstacles. He likes to think of, what could happen if this happened or if that happened. He likes to be prepared for that. What? That is so counterproductive. It's so counterproductive because, yes, cool, it may seem smart to think ahead of what possible obstacles you may approach, right? But what are the solutions to those possible obstacles? What are those? Because if you always talking about problems, all you're gonna see is problems, nigga. Psh, mind blown. But if you talk about solutions to those problems, guess what? When or if those problems do arise, you'll already be like, hey, you know what? I thought about this, and now I have this solution. Boom, accomplished. Yet with him, it's just, no, I can't do that because what if that one happens, and what if this one happens, and it's, mayday, mayday, mayday. And I cannot understand that type of mindset. I cannot. So Anyway, we're just going on and on. And ultimately, I was saying towards the end of my text, this is all through text, of course, because we did our, anyway, but yeah, so it's 2 texts. And so the last part, I was saying how, I just don't think, I said not think. I said, hey, we're just at different places in our life. And I'm just going to walk away because this is not working pretty much. This, we have an age gap, and that gap is very much the reason why we have a lot of these differences. And I also included, it's also because of your lack of willingness to receive feedback, okay? Because that's also it. Because I'm not going to say, relationships that have an age gap between the man and the woman, and particularly the man being younger than a woman. I'm not saying they don't work out. I'm saying more so when you don't have a willingness to learn and to be better and to progress and to just, when someone's giving you, when you're with someone older, I just feel like you should be open to receiving what could you learn from this person, right? That's how I see it. But that's not how he sees it. And look, see it how you want to see it. That's cool. I don't have to fuck with you like that. It's just, that's really what it is. And so I make myself very clear cut, yet he is continuously going on and on about, no, but you can't force me to think the way you think, or, you got to make me, you got to accept the fact that I want to do things my own way. I didn't ask for your help, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. And I still don't want this. That's the tweet. Okay, cool. And I still don't want it. Yeah, but okay, cool. And I still don't want it. But okay, cool. And I still don't want it anymore. And that's it. And it sucks because honestly, I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say. I'm not even gonna say what I'm about to. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because what I'm about to say though is simply, it goes back to what I've said before. Where's your dick? That's where it goes back to. And what I mean by that is, where's your balls? When a woman is telling you, or when anyone is telling you, I'm not interested, I don't see this working. This isn't working for me because of X, Y, and Z, or I'm walking away. Go. Right? It's one thing, and here's the thing, maybe he's just, professing his adoration for you. Maybe he just really wants it to work, and that's cool, and that's cute. But no, and leave me alone. Right? Let someone leave. And that's just a general rule. When someone wants to leave you, let them go. Right? Maybe 1 or 2 times you could profess your love and say, hey, I really want this to work, blah, blah, blah. If their response is still, no, I gotta go, this isn't working out for me anymore, let them go. And him not giving me that exit door freely is making me feel like he's not ballsy enough for me. Which is even more of a turn off. Like, ew, I don't want you to be like, I'm over here walking all over you. And I'm not even walking, but I am kind of in a way, right? I'm not being a bitch. I'm not calling out his name. I'm not blah, blah, blah. It's just, I am leaving. I don't want this. It's not working for me. Why would you want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you? Right? Why would you want to work it out with someone who doesn't want to work it out with you? Right? And that's just, it reminds me of just some bitch shit, right? That's something that a woman would do. That's something that a girl would do, right? Come on, I want you to like me. Please, I'll do anything for you. I cannot have a man say that to me. I need you to get the fuck off. I need you to walk away. I need you to let me go. Let me go. Because you know what? I'm even more unattracted. I'm even more unattracted. Okay? Hence, I said even more because I was already. Now you added on to it. That's just not cool for me. So Anyway, so it's been a lot the past few days, and me realizing I'm just not going to do this to myself anymore. I need to honor thyself. When I don't like someone the first day, right? Because it's one of those things, you know if you really like someone, if there are some things that you could tolerate and there are some things that you can't. And when you try to quiet that voice, that's the problem. So, and he's a talker. And I'm a talker too, but I also recognize that when I'm done, I'm done. I don't need to continue talking about the same thing over and over again, different words. Like, how many synonyms do you need? No. Negative? What's another word for no? Like, what? No. You want me to say You want me to write down No. Okay? And so he's trying to like continue to talk and like kind of refute what I'm saying and blah blah blah. Regardless, I don't want to continue this conversation. I'm already done. So that's where we're at. That's what I concluded. I will not be going back and forth with him. This is not worth it. And I bring up the whole initiative, being annoyed with sweet talk. Because, like I was saying, he has not, and I called him out. I was like, this whole time I've been home, you haven't at all made an initiative to come see me. You haven't at all made an initiative for us to meet, for us to spend time together. And yes, we are in quarantine. I get that. Yes, we should be locked down. I get that. But niggas still gonna be fucking. Let's just keep that real. Because what are we doing? Come on. Okay. Do you got it or not? But anyway, period. So he was like, yeah, but I didn't want to come off too strong. I know you were grieving. And I already said prior to that, I was like, well, I know that I'm grieving, but you could still say, hey. And I'm giving him a whole script. I'm like, you could at least say something like, hey, I know you're going through a lot, but if you want to, like, that's literally copy and paste that and text me that in 2 days. At that time, not right now. Please don't text me again. I'm being a bitch. But I'm joking, not really. But that's what I'm saying. Like, him even thinking, I don't want to come off too hard. No, I want my nigga to come off hard. I want you to come off a little hard and be like, I don't care what she says in response. Not no rapey shit, but like, you know what I mean? Like, give me that gusto. That gusto. Give me that gusto. And so I don't get that from him. And I said something like, this whole nice guy act, I need you to just cut it out. And I don't mean it like I don't believe him not being a nice guy. I do think he's a nice guy. I'm just saying I don't care for the nice guy. Because that niceness is now corny to me because you say sweet nothings and it don't attribute to anything because they're simply sweet nothings. So that's corny to me. So you're not a nice guy, you're a corny guy. Okay, if you can't really do what you say, right? And it's little things. I'm not into the little sweet talk either. Don't, I cooked something and I was saying, oh yeah, I just finished cooking this. And his response is, oh, save me a plate. For what? For what? Are you coming? No, you're not. So for what? You want me to save your plate for the 2 weeks later that me and you will finally meet up? You still want that same plate of food? Nigga, leave me alone and stop saying that bullshit. Like, it's not cute. I'm not gonna be like, hee. We're not in high school. I'm 29. I gotta say this over and over again because this is the point that I'm making. This is not no childish shit for me, right? And I'm saying this also because even though it's still casual, it's still early, it's still any of that, I still want my casual niggas, and my casual niggas prior has been more about doing that of which they talk about, right? Has been more about the action than their word. Their word. We can talk more about that. But, it's been more than that. So I don't care about, oh, he said save me a plate, and I'm gonna sleep with that in my head and in my heart, and my heart flutters. I'm not easily impressed. That's just it. That's me. That at this point, you go through a lot of stuff. You get older and you realize you come better, come correct, come. Can I come first? Like that, you think more like that. So I'm over Church Bay, and that's an update on that. Yeah. So and that's just a testament to anyone because I think sometimes it may not apply to you, obviously, right? If you don't mind some of your niggas being corny niggas, right? If you just like being with someone who you just have like who you just like because they like you, right? Some people just like to be with someone who just likes them, even though you don't feel the same way back. And that's what I was thinking with him. I was like, well, he likes me, like he really likes me, and you know, he makes me feel good as far as just being consistent and being complimentary and just like nice stuff, which is nice. It's cool and all. But if I don't like you back, those nice stuff are in vain for me because it doesn't mean anything, because I want that energy from Boston Bay, right? I want that energy from other niggas who I have liked in the past or who I may like currently and isn't giving me that same energy, you know? So that's where I am. Like, I just want it's not worth it for me. And so I was thinking as I was on my walk the other day at a park, I finally went out to get some fresh air. You know, I'm trying to stop saying, you know, because shit, it's annoying. But yeah, I'm kidding. But yeah, I was on my park walk and getting some fresh air, still socially distancing and protecting myself, of course. And I was thinking to myself, even though some men may be just casual, right? Maybe I'm just looking at them as something to do, someone to do. That's cool. But there is still a standard that I want from those casual niggas. And the standard is as follows. A nigga I like. A nigga. Like, I want him to already be someone whom I am attracted to. Someone who makes me laugh. Someone who is older or at least the same age as me and just a little bit established, like something established. Like, I want you to be already in your career, whatever career that is, right? I'm not saying you got to be the boss, but it wouldn't hurt. You know, there is just a standard as women once we experience flying on a private jet. What do you mean we're flying commercial? Like, what does that mean? You progress, and that's no shot to anyone who flies commercial. It just means once you level up, there are no stairs going down anymore. That escalator only goes up, okay? Only goes up, and that's how you should be in life. You think higher, you think more. You think more accomplished, you think more solution oriented, you are on the same level as me. And if that makes me sound like a bitch, then bitch, hello. Bitch, hello. Okay? That brings me to this African bae I recently rekindled with. Partly because, well, not partly. Because, just the reason, because, due to me being sexually frustrated. And this frustration comes from just, of course, being home and not having the freedom to, you know, be with a nigga all night or just be out and, like, you know, really out type of out. And when you're of a certain age and your homie is like, okay, how can I still satisfy these needs that are valid, that are real, and that are natural, right? And I preach this all the time on my podcast, that there's no shame in your sexual desires. Obviously, if it's not, you know, harming other people, harming yourself, then there is no shame in that. And as long as it's not illegal, this is obviously. But my point is, there should be an acceptance to that. I should not have to silence those desires when I deserve to be filled in that way. So this frustration was just eating me alive, and it's frustrating because I had Boston Bay, who I thought was going to be a consistent fuck since I've been here, and we only hung out one time. It's been 4 weeks of me staying here in Boston, and it's only been one time with this nigga. And that's just a whole nother, so tired of him. I'm really tired of him. So there was just frustration with that because I'm assuming, okay, great, this person will be the someone who, whenever I need that little itch, he could scratch my pussy. Like, scratch my back type of itch, But when he is continuously just naturally, he can't be nothing else but inconsistent. You look up inconsistent, you see Boston Bay. You see his full name, his real name, okay? You see that. So that's frustrating for me because the least that I want from you is that. That's the least I want from you. And you can't even give me that. I'm annoyed. On top of the fact that you want to respond in a bitch-like way. There's some things that I realize men are really, not all men, of course, but there are some men who are really feminine, okay? Really feminine. And I'm just going to quickly say this to explain why I said that. So there was a conversation me and Boston Bay had when there was miscommunication about, or lack of communication, really because of him not being straightforward and letting me know, we're still on for this particular day. We were supposed to hang out on a Saturday, and he hit me up. Well, I hit him up first, actually, later on that day, in the afternoon, realizing that he still hasn't hit me up and that we were supposed to hang out that day. So I'm just hitting him up saying, hey, what's up? Hoping that he'll respond with oh, hey, how about I come pick you up around this time and, we hang out from there, whatever. So I hit him up. His response is, hey, I'm at work. There was a funeral at his job. He told me one of his coworkers passed and all that. So I'm just reading that okay, well, I guess that means we're not on for today, as he said previously. So, because otherwise you'll say that and then you'll say something like, well, and, hey, are you still free at 6? Yeah, I'm free at that time. Let's, I can pick you up and we can hang out. Boom. But he wasn't saying that. And so he's trying to make small talk. And y'all know I hate small talk. Get to the point. Are we hanging out or what? What are we talking about? Because he's doing the whole WYD crap. And I'm like, oh, I'm cleaning. Oh, on a Sabbath? And LOL, are we hanging out? What are we? Stop. I don't have time. What are we doing? So I just didn't respond. Okay? And he gets all emotional whenever you don't respond. Like a little bitch. Like, nigga, please. Relax. I guess I'm just not that type of woman who needs to respond to you as soon as you respond. And I also give you the same energy you give me, okay? I repeat that because I'm just like, look, if you're gonna be inconsistent, why am I gonna quickly respond to you when I don't have to? For what? So he responds, he says that I didn't respond. I'm just annoyed because what are we doing? So hours pass, still don't hear from him. I'm not responding. I'm just, okay, it's a dub. It's not happening. He hits me up later on talking about, oh, well, thanks for the response. You could at least say LOL. Enjoy the rest of your night. Just feminine shit. Like, what are you? Are you a girl? I'm sorry. Am I talking to a miss? Am I? I just want to know. So, okay. The next day we finally talk about the supposed time we were supposed to hang out together yesterday. So I forgot how it came about, but regardless, the conversation ended with him saying, oh, so I said, okay, so what about today? Are you free today? I'm just trying to move it along. Okay, so what's the solution? Let's move on. Stop with the small talk, stop with the negative talk, moving on. And he's like, I can't today. Because one, I asked him, okay, are we hanging out today? He took an hour to respond. And I questioned it with that little, you know how you could question the text on your iMessage. So I questioned that, and then his response is, I can't, I'm training my kids today, because he has a little kid group that he trains. I don't fucking know. I don't care. That's it. And so he says that. I'm like, okay, all right. And I said, all right. And I said his name. So because I said that, and obviously, yes, that tone is negative, right? And that's intended. I did that intentionally. Okay. I did that because I'm annoyed, because you're not giving me a possible time. You're not planning ahead. You're just saying, I can't today because of this. Like, okay, well, when can you? Hey, I can't today. How about Tuesday? I'm free then. Let's do Tuesday at 6 if that works for you. Like, give me something actionable. Give me something more to give off. If you just saying a no, I'm telling you, I hate negative talk. That's negative talk for me. So I'm annoyed. I said, all right, said his name. He dislikes the comment and then goes on to say, well, this is actually my program that I'm starting up, Max. That's getting up and running. Thanks for the support, though. Like, I'm hanging up the phone, even though we weren't on an audio call. What are you doing? This is the bitch shit I'm talking about. This is just so unattractive to me. I'm just like, okay, great. That's all I said. Why are you getting all rah? Why are you getting all quick to be aggressive and in your feelings? When did I say I didn't support? First of all, I didn't know you even had this shit going on. You just be springing shit up. Oh, I got this business. I got this other business. I can't keep track because you don't let me in to keep track. You let me in for a little bit and then you go away and then you come back fully open. I miss you, Max. I miss you. Stop calling me Max. That's number one. Shit. And I think I said it to him. I don't know. But maybe I wasn't serious when I said it. I'm going to say it again because I really don't like that. Either way, I shouldn't even say it again because I shouldn't really be talking to him. Honestly, all these niggas, I don't give a fuck for. I'm going in. I need to calm down. My dad is in the house. Hopefully he can hear me. But all these niggas, I really don't give a fuck for. Like, if I could care less than a fuck, I probably wouldn't have it because that's how much of a fuck I don't have. Does that make sense to y'all? If I could give less than a fuck, I wouldn't have that fuck because that's how much fucks I don't have for these niggas. Not just one, for both of them. Both of them. Okay? BOFFUM. Of them. Like all of them. I'm just so annoyed that not one of them has been the supplier for my needs, okay? Fair to say. I think that's that Boston shit. I don't hear anyone from Houston say fair to say. But fair to say, that's how I feel. And that's what it is. And I'm over both of them. So they're cut, they're canceled, signed, sealed, delivered, sent, returned to sender. So that brings me to African Bay, as I was alluding to earlier. I rekindled with this nigga who was a casual dude from my past who I haven't really talked to in 5 years, I realized. And I remember meeting him soon after me and my ex during that time broke up. And I met this guy, and I said, it was right after the breakup, I said to myself, I'm just gonna be free. I'm just gonna meet niggas. I'm just gonna have fun and blah, blah, blah. And he was one of the niggas who I had fun with. Okay, let's say that. And I actually approached him at a party. It was a Must Love Beard party here in Boston. And I was just really bold. I was really feeling myself like, I'm just gonna approach him. He's fine, and let's see what happens. If he's interested, then he'll bite back. And he bit back. So we had a little run during that time 5 years ago, but we, fell off. Wasn't on no ill terms. We just kind of fell off. It was light. It wasn't no I want to be with you type of thing. And even during that time, because I realized, though I may have presented, I wanted a casual situation with someone, I still was not mature enough to really take that. And I think there's something to that. I'm realizing that I can't really be that for real. And that's more of a conversation for another episode. But anyway, we rekindled, and he satisfied my need. Okay, I got what I needed, and I'm hoping he could be my consistent fuck for as long as I need him to be. And that's where I'm at, and I feel good about that. And there was, let me be honest, there was some guilt as I was riding him. I was thinking about Boston Bay. I was thinking about Church and Nigga, but I was thinking to myself, fuck them. I'm not with not one of them. Let me just make that clear. As grammatically incorrect as that was, what I just said, I'm not with not one of them, okay? Meaning I'm with one of them. No, I'm really not with any of them. And neither of them has excited me. Neither of them has ignited a fire in me to really explore monogamy with either one of them, right? I've went on and on about the reasons why, so y'all could just make that conclusion. But there is no reason to feel guilt. And I had to check myself time and time again, because I was really enjoying myself. And let me just say this, that nigga was a tree, okay, 5 years ago when I climbed that tree. And I had to be reminded that he is still that tree. Not a branch, a whole tree. I'm going to end it here. Y'all be great. Be merry. And I will check in with y'all next time. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of God Built This Podcast with your host, Maxine. Be sure to leave a review, give me 5 stars, and of course, subscribe. Also, follow God Built This Podcast on Instagram at God Built This Pod. God bless.